Hey everyone, Dave here. Welcome to a new Raid Shadow Legends video. In this video, I want to talk to you about why I changed my clan boss team. I had my clan boss team on full O2 without any changes on any difficulty for almost 2 years now, but I finally decided to change it, and I'll show you why in this video. It will also go through a little bit high level on the strategy. What do you plan for your clan boss team and how you decide which team is good for you and all of this. So without further ado, let's jump into it. I'll show you first my old team and the builds, and then show you my new team, and we'll talk through why I changed it. Okay, so what we're seeing on the screen here, this was my old team. So this is the Bateater comp, and probably it's the most famous and most used clan boss team. 4 of these champs are fixed that you cannot work without. There's some variation of it, but I'm talking specifically about the Bateater comp. So you have 2 man-eaters, Painkeeper, Seeker, and then a damage dealer. This damage dealer can be Turvold, can be Turvold got a little bit of a speed difference because of his A2, A3. The most famous one again is Draco because he applied defense down and weaken. And he just plays these, so even on weak affinity he will, and then he applies a lot of poison and damage there. But I see a lot of people like putting Feign there. The only difference from that picture, where it was one of the first times I achieved 1 key on Ultra Nightmare, is that I had Brimstone on Draco since then, and I had also Phantom Touch on the other Man-Eater. So my full team, before I stopped running it, had blessings. 4 Phantom Touch for the non-Legos, and on Draco I got Brimstone. When after the blessings came in, I was almost consistently 1-keying Ultra Nightmare, and of course Nightmare and Brutal, on all affinities but Force. And then when they nerfed the blessings, I stopped being able to 1-key it anymore. Of course, it's all depending on gear. I'll show you the gear on everyone except Seeker, because Seeker is in my new comp, so that's why his build changed a bit. But I'll show you the builds I had on everyone. And why was I limited to this? Because of the gear, probably, but a lot of people can actually 1-key using this comp. If you have this comp and you can comfortably 1-key all difficulties, then you don't need to change it. And unless you're going for like a record or a challenge, then you don't need to change it unless you want to. Let me show you the build. So these are the builds that I have on the champs. Let's go first to Draco. So like I said, I have Brimstone, a 3-star Brimstone blessing on him. So that gives him the smite, HP, and like 45% chance to place that. He's in Relentless because like that will get him. If you have the Bateater comp, your DPS can be in Relentless because the last like before each clan boss hit, a Man-Eater will put Unkillable on, so it doesn't matter. So 219 the speed. As you can see here, maybe if I could give him more attack and more crit damage, it would have been possible to have a consistent 1-key with this team. But that's my Draco. Let me show you the double Man-Eater. I didn't change their gear. I didn't need any gear from them for the comp there. So that's my first one. So I guess that's my fast Man-Eater. And you see here, I can get him only to 70% crit rate with the speeds and everything. And he doesn't have much attack. While the second one, I think the slower one, I got better stats on him. So yeah, I got 100% crit rate, a little bit more attack there. And yeah, but again, they were not doing much damage. And Painkeeper, the stats other than the speed don't like matter much because Painkeeper doesn't do much damage anyways. So if we go back to the picture here, see that like each of my Man-Eaters on a good day were doing like 10 million. Same for Seeker, or a little bit more, and the majority of the damage we were totally depending on Draco. And that's why on bad affinity on Force, my damage dropped considerably. So what I wanted to do, the benefit about this team is that it was full auto, with same AI setup and everything for Ultra Nightmare, Nightmare, and Brutal. And even if I run it on hard, I'll get beyond a good one key before the team starts falling out. So that's one of the requirements I had for the new team. The new team should be able to comfortably one key on all difficulties. I couldn't have a full auto team. I'll tell you why, because yeah, I'll tell you why when I show you the team. Um, and then yeah, so I'll show you the new team now and let's talk about it. So this is Deadwood Jedi's website. If you don't know it, deadwoodjedi.com. It got all of the speed tunes and it has a very good description of how to build those teams. So you see here, this is my old team with the DPS spot filled by Draco. And those are the speeds, the description, and what you should do there. It can be run on full auto with the AI setup for all difficulties there. Now, this is my new team, and I'll show you the team and the damage and everything on my account. So, what I've seen from several of my clan mates is that they are moving to a Demetha comp. The difference between a Bateater comp and the Demetha comp, and I'll explain how this works, is that with those speeds, this team is a two to one team. What this means is that for each turn the clan boss is taking, you're taking two turns. Each of your champs get two chances to apply damage, which is most important for the DPS. In this team, I had only like one straightforward DPS. Yes, man eaters and seeker can do some damage, but they are not straightforward DPS. While on that team, I can have seeker built at a lower speed, so he can do more damage. Ruella can do some damage, though I was a bit disappointed with her damage. The most famous Demetha comp that everybody goes for is having hers instead of Elva, I guess, and having Fushan as lead for the speed, and Fushan does a lot of damage, and then having that same DPS spot, I guess. For my side, why I went for this specific comp instead of the Fushan one, simply I didn't have Fushan, and also Elva provides block debuffs that stays on all the time with the Mythos increasing buff period, so that I'm in no fear of the stun falling on the wrong champ or the comp falling out of sync at any time. And also because in the DPS spot, I have very low speed. That means that I can stack the DPS with attack, crit rate, and crit damage as much as I want to achieve that one key easily. The speeds are a bit higher on that comp, but that's because it runs at a 3-1 ratio, meaning that each of these champs will get 3 attacks per each clan boss run. Now let's go check my results and the team builds. So this is my result with this team, and that was on Spirit, if you can see it in the background, so that's a good affinity for the team. I still need to farm better blessings. I still need to farm like Phantom Touch for Ruella. And I'm not sure what I'll put on Elva because you can only have one Brimstone per team, if I remember correctly. Turvold is my damage dealer there, and he's doing the majority of the damage. But I can get more damage out of Seeker. Zostone 10 million out of Elva. That's because she's in a toxic set, which is a good. If you can put any of these champs in a toxic set, that will increase the damage just from those small poisons. For Ruella and Demetha, I couldn't get a lot of damage out of them. Demetha has only one damage dealing ability. But Ruella, maybe I can stack more damage on her. The only problem is that the speed required for her is 294, which is pretty high, and that's why I couldn't stack enough crit rate and crit damage and attack on her. Maybe with enhancing the gear I can do this, but I'm comfortably one keying all affinities, all difficulties there. So that's my new team that I got to build. I'll show you the builds on my account right now. So we'll start by Turvold. He's my damage dealer, and I managed to get a 1-star. He's an all cruel. I tried him in retaliation, but retaliation didn't do much for me, so I'm getting better results from this. 5.4k attack, and again I can achieve this because of the very low speed that he can run at. Why 70% crit rate? One of the good things about this comp is that Ruella is putting a crit rate buff up that increases the crit rate to 100%, and because of the Mesa buff extension, it stays up all the time. So that means that I can stack that much crit damage on him. Even with this low accuracy, he places the weaken sometimes. So that's the build I have for Sturvold. Also, one good thing to have here is that you put those counter attack, I don't know what revenge accessories if you have them, because those will cause more attacks for the team. So these are the stats for Turvold. Let me show you the masteries. Those are typical clan boss masteries. Some say that Giant Slayer might be a better option for Turvold because he's hitting twice and three times. Uh, but yeah, War Master is working well enough for him. Come on. Okay. Let me show you Elva now. For Elva, I don't have blessings on her. And like I said, she's in a toxic set. She doesn't do much damage, so probably the toxic set is doing 100% of the damage. The speed is 244 for Elva, and yeah, nothing else matters, just the speed. Of course, you need to stack some defense and some HP on her, which is easy. Her original stats are good. Maybe some resistance, not for clan boss. That's if you want to use her on Hydra or elsewhere. And these are the masteries. Again, she doesn't get much use from the offense tree, but those War Master procs can do a bit more damage. I don't know why I keep getting out of there. I need to show you the rest of the champs. So the third one we have is the Mesa. It's all about speed for the Mesa. She doesn't do much damage. 295 speed. The speeds for the Mesa and Ruella are pretty tight. And I have Phantom Touch on her. I could get that blessing here, just it adds a bit more damage. Now let's check Seeker and Ruella. I think Seeker I have, yeah, Phantom Touch on him already. Um, I'll tell you why I'm putting him in Perception. So 188 is not high speeds at all, and I have only 64, not 70% crit. That's why my Seeker can do more damage. 3.3 attack. I want him with high accuracy because I want to use him on Hydra as well as a provoker. That's why I sacrifice that tiny bit of crit rate for the additional accuracy. You don't if you're using Seeker only for clan boss, you don't need the accuracy. Drop all the accuracy. Give him 70% crit rate, and pump him with as much attack and crit damage as you can achieve. And then the last one on the team is Ruella. Because of the speed requirement, Ruella does need accuracy. So you need around 260 accuracy for her to land her decreased defense and weaken. And again, because these are hits and she's spirit, they won't land. She can miss landing them on weak hits on the magic clan boss. But other than that, it's just the speed. And if you can give her actually, I have good crit rate and crit damage on her, but she's still not doing much damage there. But yeah, again, masteries are the same for almost all of them. What you want to avoid in this comp, you want to avoid, well, this one will never happen on clan boss. You want to avoid extending the buffs further and decreasing the cooldowns. These two, and this is mentioned explicitly on Deadwood Jedi's description of that clan boss comp. That's the comp that I'm running right now, and that's my reason why, because I just wanted to um, have a consistent one key. The different things that I can show you here, I won't do an actual run right now, but I want to show you the AI setup, because the only important thing about the AI setup for this one is two things here. Well, three, whatever. Yeah, let's talk about it. You need to prioritize the A3 for Ruella to keep the comp in sync. And for the Meta, you have to put it A2, then A3. Last thing, you need to turn the A2 for Turvold, turn it off completely, because he puts increased speed on himself and he will put himself out of sync. Other than this, I think Yeah. So Demetha 1 2, Ruella prioritize A3, and then Torvald uh, shut off his A2. The only other thing here to mention, if you're not liking it, is that this team is not full auto from the start. You need to A1 with Elva twice before setting her up on auto to use her A2 as a priority there. That's the last thing I want to tell you. While we're here, I got this soul stone from the Summon Rush, that video that I just posted before this one. So can we get anything good today? We didn't get anything good from the Sacreds. 4-star useless rare. Okay, that's the note I'll leave you on Friday evening. Keep playing Raid, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.